The Grind, a Minnesota sports podcast.
It's been 12,307 days since the Minnesota Twins hoisted the World Series trophy in 1991. But this is the grind, and we continue grinding along with the Minnesota sports teams. Welcome into the show. Lots to discuss today. Someone is predicting the Minnesota Vikings to finish last in the NFC North. Are they right? And why it would be absurd for the Minnesota Timberwolves to pursue Bradley Beal. What are they thinking? All of that and more on today's show. But first, I need to tell you about 5 Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis because they transformed our bathroom in 48 hours, and that is their guarantee. They come in and remodel entire bathrooms in 48 hours. I'm talking the whole enchilada, all right? Take a look at our bathroom. Before, we had a blue floor, a blue step, moldy shower, handrails everywhere. Our bathroom was designed for an elderly couple, but our problem is we aren't elderly. We're 33. My wife is 30. We had an old sink, vanity, countertop, ugly, disgusting, embarrassing, and unhealthy. And they came in and remodeled everything. A new floor, a new tub, a new surround. The mold is gone. A new mirror. We went from 1 sink to 2 sinks. 5 Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis remodeled our entire bathroom, and we got our bathroom back in 2 days. Perfect. Efficiency. Cleanliness. Amazing. We love it, and it is incredible. That's why I'm telling you about it. 5 Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. Affordable pricing. Free consultations, 5 Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. All right, let's start here. The Minnesota Timberwolves are reportedly confirmed suitors for Bradley Beal. Beal just turned 31 years old and is expected to hit the unrestricted free agency market after the Suns and Bradley Beal officially come to terms on a buyout because the Suns are trying to get underneath that second apron. And Bradley Beal has an absurd contract for the amount of production that he brings. When you think about the Suns these last few years, what a failed experiment. You bring on a big three of Devin Booker, who's a high-quality player, Kevin Durant, who's an NBA superstar, and Bradley Beal, who should be that perfect third piece. And what a failed experiment. The Suns are a perfect example of how throwing 3 random good players on a roster doesn't always work. These last few years, Beal, last season, 17 points per game. The season before, 18 points per game. Played in 53 games last year, played in 53 games 2 years ago, and has not played in over 60 games in 7 years. Bradley Beal is riddled with injury history, and if the Timberwolves bring him onto their roster, where is his fit? Are you starting 3 guards? Edwards, Beal, McDaniels, and then the Gobert and Julius Randle? Is Bradley Beal coming off the bench? According to Jake Fisher, he's an NBA insider, the Timberwolves are confirmed suitors for Bradley Beal. But can we be honest about it? When any player has hit the market over the last 2 to 3 years, the Timberwolves have always been reportedly interested in that player. It would appear. And Bradley Beal is another player on that list of guys the Timberwolves have been reportedly interested in. Now, Beal is a solid player, But is he what the Timberwolves need right now? I don't think so. The Timberwolves should do everything in their power to stay away from Bradley Beal. And not because he can't bring production, but because of his fit on the roster and because of the injury history that he's been riddled with throughout his entire career. The player, Bradley Beal, has only played 82 games twice in his career. Has only eclipsed the 70-game mark 4 times in his 13-year career. Bradley Beal's greatest weakness is being on the floor consistently. And I don't think Bradley Beal steps into the Timberwolves organization and makes them better. I don't see how or where he fits. Because I don't see him in the starting lineup, and I don't see him as a player that alleviates pressure from Anthony Edwards. And that really has been what this offseason has been all about, because we saw it against the Thunder. We saw Edwards trying to dissect the Thunder by himself, and he wasn't able to do it. We saw it last year against the Mavericks. He tried to dissect the Mavericks by himself, and he wasn't able to do it. So this offseason has been all about trying to alleviate pressure from Anthony Edwards, spread around the love offensively. And that's why the Timberwolves were interested and laid out a trade package to acquire Kevin Durant at 37 years old. The only reason why that trade didn't go down is because Durant wanted no part of the Timberwolves. So I don't see where Beal fits within the Timberwolves roster and plan, and you look at his injury history, and I just don't see it. I would rather sign a Damian Lillard to a veteran minimum contract because he's a guard, and if he can get healthy enough, I believe that he brings the Timberwolves more what they need than Bradley Beal does. Bradley Beal, a 38% three-point shooter last year, 50% from field goal percentage last year. Good numbers, solid player, but I just don't see the fit that he would provide the Timberwolves organization and where that would take the team. All right, next story to quickly cover. Mo Motun, no idea who that is. His ex-descriptor of himself, NFL analyst and Raiders Daily host at Bleacher Report, CNN, and TNT Sports US, NFL contributor, co-host SBN Today via Odyssey, Raiders writer. He's predicting the Minnesota Vikings to finish last in the NFC North. He writes, the Minnesota Vikings will go from one of the league's biggest surprise playoff teams in 2024 to a disappointing squad this year. Why? JJ McCarthy. McCarthy's experience could cost the Vikings some games. The QB could struggle through the first half of the season before he finds his rhythm. And that appears to be the general consensus on what could hold the Minnesota Vikings back from being a successful regular season and playoff team next season. And I agree with what he's saying. I think it is oblivious to think that McCarthy is going to step in and be the quarterback that Sam Darnold was for the Minnesota Vikings last season. It takes time for quarterbacks to establish themselves as solid players. Even Jaden Daniels last year, his efficiency, his completion percentage was solid immediately. 17 for 24, 23 for 29. But through the first 5 games of his NFL career, he had 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's less than a touchdown a game. He finished with 25 and 9 passing and 9 interceptions. Phenomenal year. Great rookie season, and was the best rookie player last year in the NFL. And then beats the Detroit Lions, beats the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and gets blown out against Philadelphia to advance to the Super Bowl. But my point being, even the best rookie quarterback last year took time to throw touchdowns in his first few games. Efficiency numbers were there. Completion, his attempts, he completed 69% of his passes. His first 3 games, he completed 70%, 79%, 91%. The dude was great. But I don't think Jaden Daniels is the comp to JJ McCarthy, because they aren't the same player. A similar comp to JJ McCarthy would be Bo Nix. And Bo Nix didn't throw his first touchdown pass until week 4 of the NFL regular season. 0 touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. And he still finished with 29 and 12. He still had a great regular season. And the Broncos made the playoffs. So Bo Nix played really well last year and brought the Broncos enough good quarterback play to secure a playoff spot. The problem with that is the Minnesota Vikings still play in the toughest division in football. Packers twice, Lions twice, Bears twice. And the Bears with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are only going to be better. And you would think the Lions might decrease a little bit because of the coaching staff and the offensive line, but the Packers will probably be about the same, 11 or 12 wins. I am not sold on McCarthy being the player that Sam Darnold was last year. Darnold threw 35 touchdowns and 12 picks. And you think about the throw that Darnold had against Seattle late in that game. Stepping up into the pocket, about to get creamed, and sidearm delivers a perfect strike down the sidelines to Justin Jefferson. When I think about last year, that was Sam Darnold's best throw. I don't think McCarthy is making that throw. I don't think McCarthy is going to step in at year 1 and deliver the Vikings to 14 wins. I don't think Darnold would step in year 2 and deliver the Vikings to 14 wins. And Darnold is the better quarterback right now. So you think about what could potentially hold the Vikings back from winning games next season. And it's McCarthy. because the offensive line, the running backs, the receivers, everything on the Vikings roster besides a few secondary pieces is perfect right now. They could use a little bit of cornerback help, I think. Harrison Smith is aging. He's not the player he once was, but he can make a few impactful plays throughout the season. The defensive line and offensive line are set up for success. Linebackers should be fine. McCarthy is the biggest question mark on the Vikings. And to think that he is going to step into this season and deliver an NFC North trophy to the Minnesota Vikings, I think is outrageous. Because there will be growing pains for McCarthy, as there is every single rookie quarterback that enters the league. And you look at McCarthy's tools, and I've never understood the arm strength idea of people criticizing his arm strength, because you pull up the college tape and his arm strength is fine. The bomb that he had down the sidelines in preseason when Justin Jefferson was mic'd up with Paul Allen on the radio, beautiful throw. Arm strength seems fine. His mind seems fine. Like the preparation, that's never a question for McCarthy. The part that I wonder is the amount of responsibility that he will have to take on as starting QB. Now, the situation is similar to Michigan. Just don't mess this thing up, and the Vikings might be fine. But more is demanded for NFL quarterbacks than college quarterbacks. McCarthy will be asked and demanded to do more for the Vikings than he was his last year at Michigan. Because at Michigan, they were set up for success offensively and defensively. And for the Vikings, it's the same. They're set up offensively and defensively for McCarthy just to come in and don't make mistakes. But he's going to be asked to do more. And when he is asked to do more, can he deliver to the degree that Vikings fans hope and the Vikings organization hopes? Because we're not asking you to throw the ball 15 times a game. You're still going to be asked to throw the ball 20 plus times a game, and you are going to be asked to deliver big wins against divisional opponents in the toughest division in football and make the throws to do so. So I don't know if McCarthy is ready to do that. That is my biggest doubt. If McCarthy can step in and be that guy for the Vikings right away. I think it's going to take time. That's the show for today. Thank you for making this podcast part of your day. 5-Star Bass Solutions in Minneapolis. Check them out today. Everyone, hope you have a good day.